They said starvation would never again be used as a weapon of war. Yet here we are, watching it unfold before our eyes. Gaza is on the brink of famine. Families are eating grass and animal feed. Parents are skipping meals so their kids can have at least one bite of bread a day. And the world? It's watching in shock and slowly, finally, turning against Israel.
This is what death by forced starvation looks like.
He's a skeleton. He died of starvation.
So, how did we get here? After the October 2023 Hamas attack, Israel imposed what it called a complete siege. That meant cutting off food, water, electricity, and fuel. Israel says it's about security, but humanitarian groups are calling it something else, collective punishment. And when you punish 2 million people by starving them, you break more than international law, you break the world's patience. Just look at the numbers. According to the World Health Organization and the World Food Program, over 80% of Gaza's population is now facing extreme hunger. 1 in 3 children is already malnourished.
The only child he has left after an Israeli airstrike killed his wife and 4 other sons. Rescuers found Omar alive under the rubble of this house.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said it best just days ago. This is an unfolding famine of unimaginable proportions. The Red Cross has called it one of the fastest worsening humanitarian crises of modern times. And now, the tide of opinion is shifting. Hard.
US and Israel-backed notorious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation sites have become killing zones for anyone seeking food.
The United States, Israel's strongest ally, is no longer standing completely silent. Spain and France have demanded accountability, while Germany, a historically strong supporter of Israel, is expressing grave concern as reports of children dying from hunger surface. France has gone a step further, announcing it will officially recognize a Palestinian state. A move signaling how dramatically global politics are shifting against Israel. Meanwhile, the images coming out of Gaza are gut-wrenching. Videos of mothers boiling grass just to feed their kids. Aid trucks being swarmed by starving crowds.
The aid points have turned into death traps. The Israelis open fire on all those seeking aid. Any person who goes to get aid comes back a dead body, injured or empty-handed.
Families fighting over bags of flour because nothing else is left. Human Rights Watch even accused Israel of weaponizing starvation. Think about that. This is not a fringe opinion anymore. This is mainstream. And on the ground, resistance forces are still active. Just yesterday, fighters ambushed an Israeli tank in a dramatic strike, climbing directly onto the tank itself before detonating explosives. The footage went viral, symbolizing a resistance that, despite the siege, is still mounting high-impact attacks. International aid has tried to step in, but it's barely scratching the surface. The US, Jordan, and Egypt have resorted to airdropping food, something usually done in war zones that are impossible to access. But even then, 1 day's worth of drops feeds barely 2% of Gaza's population. The chaos is heartbreaking, people injured, even killed, while scrambling for those life-saving supplies. It's desperation on a level we haven't seen in decades, and now legal pressure is building.
Mohammed al-Sawafri is said to have not eaten in a month. He was brought to a hospital alive, only to be pronounced dead minutes later.
International law experts say Israel's blockade could be classified as collective punishment, which is a war crime. The International Criminal Court has confirmed it's monitoring the situation closely. Multiple human rights lawyers have filed legal briefs accusing Israel of deliberately starving civilians. That's a huge shift. Israel has faced criticism before, but this is direct legal scrutiny on the international stage. Public opinion is shifting too. In the US, support for unconditional military aid to Israel is dropping, especially among younger Americans. Across Europe, streets are packed with protesters calling for a ceasefire and humanitarian corridors. Even in Canada, lawmakers are demanding an end to arms sales to Israel until food and medicine are allowed in freely. And it's not just the outside world. Inside Israel, a small but growing number of voices, former officials, activists, even military veterans, are warning that this policy of blockade and starvation is not sustainable. They argue it damages Israel's global standing and fuels more extremism instead of stopping it. This week, the UN General Assembly passed a resolution resolution demanding unimpeded humanitarian access and an immediate ceasefire, with more countries supporting it than ever before. And for the first time, parts of Gaza have officially been declared at IPC Phase 5. That means famine is already happening, not just predicted. Here's the bottom line. Israel, long seen primarily as a victim of terrorism, is now facing accusations of committing humanitarian violations. People aren't excusing the Hamas attacks, they're just refusing to let civilians, especially children, pay the price. And while politicians debate and leaders give speeches, kids in Gaza are still collapsing from hunger, doctors are still operating without anesthesia, and parents are still praying for just one more meal. The big question now is, will this global outrage actually force Israel to change course? Or will the siege and starvation continue until Gaza completely collapses? One thing's clear, the world is watching and the tide is turning.